What's up, homies? This is Jokesta back at you with a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 weapons for this season. So let's get right into it. I don't want to waste your time, so this video might be really short and sweet. So let's get right into it by starting off with the honorable mentions. So honorable mention number one is the EM2. This is actually one of the builds that a lot of people have been using in ranked matches, and it is a very good build, but the issue is the recoil is a little too high, so you have to get used to it. And if you can get used to it, then you're going to be amazing with the EM2. So yeah, EM2 is honorable mention. Next up on the list is Lapa. Lapa is another SMG that is actually quite good, but it was surprising that nobody really uses it in COD mobile rank matches, especially like search. In search and destroy, people have been using the CBR and other weapons, but this weapon is kind of good too. But at the end of the day, I would probably use like another SMG. I don't know why I'm not really like a big fan of it. I've tried, but just not my cup of tea. I don't know why, but I'm gonna give it a shot this season. I'm gonna try to push forward for it, make some content out of it. But yeah, this is the second honorable mention. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and start off with a top 10 on our list. So coming up at number 10 is the Switchblade. This is actually the build that you want to be using for, rank matches. It is kind of still one of the best builds. Nothing really changed. Honestly, what's the point of all these gunsmith if we already know which one's the best? So this is like the all-time best gunsmith for this weapon. You can switch it up to your style, and I highly recommend you guys do. Like, hey, you know what? You don't like the optics, just switch it up. If you want to add an underbarrel, go ahead. But this is the main one that's like the top of the line, but you can always customize it, and I highly recommend you guys to do that. I do it sometimes to a couple of other guns on my gunsmith, and I like it this way. So yeah, this is the top of the line Switchblade X9. We're gonna go ahead and move on to another one on the top 10, like the same ratings, the same level. So it is actually the MX9. This is the build for the MX9. The only thing that actually changed from the previous MX9 builds was the grip. It used to be something else, like I think it was sturdy or something firm, but now it's this actually. So yeah, that's the only change. But MX9 is kind of on the same level with the Switchblade, so it's top 10. Those two weapons are up top. Anyways, moving on to number 9 on the list. So at the top, number 9 on the list is the Chopper. The Chopper is still one of the best guns out there. The Hogers as well, but the Chopper is like, one of the best. So if you're playing domination, and I have actually played domination for a while, there's some people that just sit back and they have a position to hold down, and they're like aiming, and whoever gets on B site, they like laser them down no matter what, and it's annoying. It's really annoying. And so then comes the snipers, they take out the choppers. But anyways, the point is the Chopper is a really good sentry gun. So like, for example, you can just stand there and just laser everybody. So yeah, Chopper is a pretty good solid weapon. I highly recommend you guys try it, keep playing with it, do whatever you guys want to do. I am personally never going to use the Chopper because it is not like a search and destroy type of weapon. I mean, I can maybe, but yeah, I don't want to use the Chopper for search. If it's domination or hardpoint, I would definitely use it. Anyways, moving on to top number 8 is the Maddox. Now the Maddox, I think it's a perfect place to actually put it, because the first time I tried it, I was like, wow, this is amazing, and then I tried the other weapons, assault rifles, that are a little bit better, and I was like, damn, okay, well, I guess the Maddox is not the top tier, but it's close enough. And I would say this is probably the best for domination or hardpoint. Search and destroy is good as well, but this is more based for players that are aggressive in dom and hardpoint. So like if you're playing domination or hardpoint, this is the gun for you. Just try it out, play aggressive. It's just crazy. But yeah, I prefer other assault rifles for search. But if I was to play dom or hardpoint, this is probably going to be the gun that I would be using. Anyway, so this is the build that we officially got from Signo's team. They have analyzed all of this, and they said, hey, this is it. So yeah, I'm going to try this out in a video in the future with this updated gunsmith, this of course. And yeah, moving on to an alternative mention is the Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper is also at the top 8 as well. So I'm going to show you guys the build for that really quick. So this is also listed as a number 8 on the list, and Peacekeeper is pretty good for search and destroy. But when it comes to dominant hardpoint, it's a little hard to like master, but if you can master it, then you're a beast. But for Peacekeeper, I think it's more like for passive search and destroy players. So if you're out there playing search, this is good. But if you're playing dom and hardpoint, try Maddox. It's both of these are good choices, and I really like the placing on this one for sure. Anyways, we're moving up to top number 7 on the list. It is the Fennec. The Fennec is placed up at number 7. It is a solid weapon. What can I say? It shoots fast, is good for close range, and that's about it. There's nothing more to say. If you have used the Fennec, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, give it a shot. Moving up to top number 6 on the list. So it is the M13, and it is... So the M13 is listed as top number 6, and I'm surprised it's not going away. I think it's a great gun. I really like playing with the M13. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad it's still a top tier weapon, and it isn't like going anywhere. So if you're out there excited about the M13, you still got some chance to play, because in the future, I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf this thing, and it won't be fun to use in the future. So try to use the M13 once in a while. Give it a shot. See if you like it. Maybe for one day, just play with the M13 and switch it up a little bit. But yeah, M13, top number 6. Top number 5 is the SKS. It actually dropped from top 2 or 3 last season. So, you know, they're kind of nerfing it little by little. But if you want a good marksman rifle, the SKS is perfect. When you see a player using the SKS in search and destroy, it's a scary place to face. Like for me as a player, I am scared of snipers to face, but it's more dangerous to play against SKS, because these players, they hold down positions, they see you, they can just spam, and then you're just dead, because there's no other options. The snipers, they shoot one shot, they miss, you have a second chance. But the SKS, you're kind of dead no matter what. So the SKS is a strong weapon to use, but there is also another weapon on this kind of level. So it is the XPR and the SVD, which I kind of showed those gunsmith. They haven't really changed. They're the same builds. You can check out my previous top 10 weapons, and you can see the SVD and the XPR. They're the same thing. There's nothing that really changed, but I just placed the SKS higher because I was like, you know, this is definitely the better gun out of those two. But if you were to use the SVD or the XPR, check out my previous top 10s. And yeah, let's get on to top number 4. So it is the Hoger 26. The Hoger is top number 4. I never thought I would say that, but it is actually up there on the list. And surprisingly, I guess I'm surprised actually. I didn't expect it, so I might make some Hoger videos for search and destroy. So if you are interested, let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, yeah, the Hoger, top number 4. Moving on to top number 3. Kilo is listed as number 3, and yeah, it's actually gotten up on the list. I'm actually surprised. So you might see me use the Kilo a lot in rank matches. Whenever I stream, check out my Jokesta stream channel on YouTube. There's a link in the description as well, so if you're interested in following, yeah, so I might actually play a lot with the Kilo. The Kilo is surprisingly good. I like it. A lot of people hate it, but I personally think it's a great weapon, and it's not the only weapon listed as top number 3. The other weapon is the M16 with the auto fire. So that is also another weapon that's listed at number 3. Well, this is the M16 build that I was just talking about. Yeah, the M13 top number 3 as well. So they're kind of on the same level, Kilo and the M16, full auto though. And yeah, I would, if I was you and I wanted to have a better, like a red dot or something, I would probably take off the laser or something, or maybe a different attachment and put an optic on there. But other than that, we're going to move on to top number 2 on the list. So it is the CBR. It is listed as top number 2. This is the build that I would be using now. I used to use a different suppressor and a different barrel, but after this gunsmith that came out from Signal's team, they provided it. They were like, hey, this is the updated stuff. And this is basically it. I remember using this build in the past, and then I switched it up a little bit because of the updated gunsmith. But now it seems like we're going a different back to the older version. So yeah, this is the build that I would be using now. So shout out to Signal again. Another thing to mention, that there's another weapon that is also listed as number 2. It is the PP19. So it is also listed as number 2 on the list. So if you want to go back and forth, go for it. It is actually pretty good and powerful. So at the end of the day, for me personally, I'm going to stick with the CBR. But if you like the PP19, go for it. It has a lot easier. It's a lot easier to use, and the PP19 has a lot of ammo, better recoil. So yeah, definitely, why not? But CBR is more of a like an aggressive. It has kind of, for me personally, it's just the accuracy, the range. I like it a lot. So yeah, the CBR is what I'm going to go for. But moving on to top number 1 on the list, it is the Krig 6, and it is still the number 1 gun to use. But it is not the only weapon to use as well. There's another weapon that's like an alternative honorable mention. Like you could use the other weapon as well, and it's actually the HVK. The HVK 30 is another weapon that a lot of people have not been paying a lot of attention to. Some people have, but I personally like it a lot. I don't think this is the right build yet. All right, so I just fixed up the HVK build. This is also a very good weapon to use. So the only thing is you can't really spray and pray. You have to be accurate. You got to shoot all your shots and they have to hit. So that's why it's a really good weapon. It's underrated. But yeah, HVK 30 or the Krig 6, what would you guys pick in a 1v1 situation against Jokesta? Like if you're playing against me, what weapon would you use? Would you use the HVK 30 or the Krig 6? Let me know in the comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, slap a like, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in another one. Peace out.